Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Syed Aziz Ahmed, and I'm going to tell you about a brief information of audit engagement letter. Today, my video is consist of these contents. Number 1, audit. Number 2, why audit? Number 3, audit engagement letter. Number 4, purpose of letter. Number 5, responsibility of IMCA. Number 6, scope of audit. Number 7, fees of audit. And number 8 is agreement of terms. An audit is a systematic and independent examination of books, accounts, statutory records, documents and vouchers of an organization to ascertain how far the financial statements as well as non-financial disclosures present a true and fair view of the concern for the shareholders. Now the question will raise that why audit is needed in an organization. Without an audit system, a company would not be able to create reliable financial reports, because in any company or organization, the management have to show the results of their financial statements to the shareholders, because the management is responsible for everything or every problem happening in a company. So they have to provide a true and fair view to their shareholders. Now the basic need for the audit is audit engagement letter. If anyone wants an audit, he must have to prepare an audit engagement letter. It is in the interest of both client and auditor that auditors send an engagement letter, preferably before the commencement of the engagement, to help in avoiding misunderstandings with respect to the engagement. It means that an auditor shows that he is liable and he is going to examine or conduct an audit for the organization. That's why he sent the audit engagement letter to the organization. Objectives of audit engagement letter. The engagement letter documents and it confirms the auditor's acceptance of appointment, because he sent this letter after the acceptance of the appointment. The objective and scope of the audit, the extent of auditor's responsibilities to the client, and the form of any reports. The main purpose of audit engagement letter is to set out basis on which they are going to act as auditors of the IMCs. IMCs stand for Incorporated Management Committees, and the respective areas of responsibility of the Incorporated Management Committee and of auditors also. These are some responsibilities of the management of the organization. They have to maintain proper books of accounts. They must follow the laws and regulations. They must procuring management and managers. They also have some statutory responsibilities, and the last but not least, financial records. They have to provide the real and fair financial records to the auditor. And finally, professional responsibility of management to the auditor. Now, scope of an audit. The amount of time and documents which are involved in an audit is an important factor in all the auditing. The audit scope ultimately establishes how deeply an audit is performed. It can range from simple to complete, including all company documents. Audit includes rules for audit. It consists of these four things: the ownership of assets and liabilities, valuation of assets, valuation of liabilities, and finally, test of transactions. These are some rules set by the auditors that they are going to examine these four things basically. First of all, or primarily, they will examine these things. After that, they will identify all significant weaknesses in IMCs. If such weaknesses come to their notice during the course of audit, which they think should be brought in the attention, they will report them to you. Any such report not be provided to third parties except the EDB to meet the requirement stipulated in the Code of Aid and other circular guidelines issued by EDB. So, it is important that they will identify all the weaknesses in the management or the records. Audit also includes some supporting documents which an auditor can demand anytime to any part of the management or any manager. They will ask different things or different documents regarding the audit. And finally, examination of accounts, records like the annual budget, IMC's report, financial statements, and the responsibilities of assets safeguarding. Once an auditor issued their report, they have no further directly responsibility in relation to the accounts for that period. Now the main thing an auditor demand is fees. So the fees are computed on the basis of the time spent on affairs by an auditor, or the level of skill and responsibility involved. The audit fee can also be fixed fee. It can also be a fixed fee agreed before the commencement level of skill and responsibility. It can also be fixed before an audit, or fees will be billed at appropriate intervals during the course of audit and will be due on presentation. So an auditor can demand a fees anytime, before an audit, during an audit, or after an audit. It all depends on auditor. And finally, an auditor is going to ask the agreement of terms. Once an auditor has been agreed, this letter will remain effective from one audit appointment to another until it is replaced, arising from changes in audit scope or other circumstances. So that's all. Thank you so much for your time and concentration. Now you know everything about an audit engagement letter, which an auditor is going to send to the organization regarding the conduction of audit. Thank you.